Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. This video is about my skincare journey. What were the skin problems I faced? How did diet help? How did I fix them? That's all I'm gonna cover here. And finally, I'll give a list of my current minimal skincare routine. I had faced a lot of skin problems, especially in my late teens and early 20s. And there was one thing that had triggered it all. I'll reveal what it is later in the video. So let's get started. What is my skin type? Growing up, my skincare was just coconut oil and soap, no face wash, nothing like that, and Sebolin for lips. My skin was very dry as a kid. Even I had those dry marks on my legs. After about 10, 12, I started applying some kind of moisturizer when I'm going out. Fair and Lovely, currently Glow and Lovely, something like that. It did nothing as expected. When I was 16, 17, I figured out sunscreen and face wash, and it made a huge difference. I have a skin that gets tanned really quickly. Usually, people with warmer undertones will tan super quickly. So I had this, patches. It's not like it's like a tan circle on my cheeks all the time, most of the time, except for the monsoon season. So I noticed after using sunscreen, it was helping my skin to have like a more even tone. At the time, there were only a few brands available where I used to live. I just got a brand that I could afford and started using it. At the time, I used to be outside a lot, even in the summer noon, without an umbrella or sun protection. So sunscreen did made a lot of difference. So I noticed sunscreen was making a lot of difference in my overall skin health. So this is the whole context. This was me as an early teenager, 15, 16, 17 maybe. So my skin problem started when I went to college. There could be so many factors which we will discuss later. So let's see what that is. So I never had an acne phase during my teenage. I think it's a combination of genetics and climate, because where I lived, there's no humidity. It's more like a drier weather. My biggest issue was dry skin rather than acne. So my skin problem started to show when I was like at the end of 17 to 18. I personally think it had a lot to do with my stress at the time. I was doing a crash course for engineering entrance. I was staying in a hostel for the first time. Lots of stressful situations. I started to notice this eczema like rash on my one of my eyelids. It was very unnoticeable at first, and gradually it becomes very red and noticeable. Maybe I had to do something with it because I used to touch it and peel it and stuff like that. So basically, by the time it started to show, I had moved out of my parents' house to college, and it was there. Then at some point, the rash on my lid got healed, and another one appeared on my chin. Everybody would ask me what happened. I would say it's some kind of allergy. I waited so long with it before going to a doctor, because my parents were not seeing me, so they were not aware about the situation, and I was just busy with my studies and everything else, and I was not paying attention to my skin at all. So the discoloration and the rash on my skin got really red and inflamed, and I would put some topical creams on it, and it would actually make things worse. And this was one of the biggest skin problems I ever had. It was very noticeable. Now it's almost faded. Still, I feel like there's an unevenness when it comes to my chin. You probably are not seeing it on the camera, but finally, when I went to the doctor, he put me on like a long 1.5 month course of antifungals and a lot of vitamins. Apparently, I had a lot of vitamin deficiencies, and my microbiome was just not balanced. At this part, I didn't know I had gluten intolerance, so I was eating a lot of gluten, especially when I moved to university or food habits change. So I think it has something to do with it was healed completely. My skin was irritated in several places. Still, I was not aware about what the root cause was. After 2 or 3 years, it started to appear again on my back. This was when I went to my parents' home for like a vacation or a sem break or something. And I noticed it happening again. At this point, I was gluten free and mostly dairy free. By then, I had already figured out that I have gluten intolerance and it's causing me hormonal problems. I started asking myself what happened. I figured it out. All I did differently was having a tea first thing in the morning. It was dairy. So I am not lactose intolerant, but diarrhea affects my skin. I'm a big coffee lover. I love coffee, not for caffeine, but for the taste of it. I still enjoy a cup of cappuccino when I'm going out, but I cannot drink milk every day. If I drink milk consistently for a week, that would wreck my skin. It still happens. I think stress is also a big factor because it happened again last year when there was an incident in Kochi. There was a fire in a garbage plant in Kochi, and the city was covered in fog for like few days, maybe a week, and I it appeared again. I think it's a combination of an inflammatory diet, stress, and pollution, and a lot of external factors like that. That's when I realized there's a close connection between what we eat and how our skin looks. For me, whatever I eat reflects on my skin. Three major common triggers for skin problems are dairy, sugar, especially refined sugar, that is basically empty calories, and the preservatives and antibiotics that goes in our processed and non-processed food. We have such an influx of skincare influencers and lots of new skincare brands are and actives and this elaborate 10-step skincare routine and stuff like that. But without fixing your foundation, nothing is gonna help that much. Maybe it will hide it for a while, but skin is basically, a reflection of what's going on inside your body most of the time. It will be much easier if you start fixing your diet and your mental health. For me personally, what works is I have to manage my stress through meditation, taking some time off, not stressing too much, not packing too many things into my day. I'm not a last minute person. I'm not someone who does everything on last minute. I need planning and I kind of optimize my life for, low stress. That's one thing. Also, I have to eat well. I have to eat mostly a low sugar, low on refined sugar diet. Lots and lots of good fats, vegetables, fiber rich food. I have to support my gut. That's like one of the best ways. I'm not a big fan of like probiotics that you buy, but I ferment vegetables like gooseberries, mangoes, and stuff like that. It's very easy. You sterilize a glass bottle, and for about 250 ml of liquid, you add 1 tablespoon of salt, sterilized water. That's it. You can add spices like ginger, chilies, and leave it on the counter for like 1 or 2 days. It's a humid place like Kochi. If it's always above 30 degrees, it's going to get ready so quickly. Then you can put it in the fridge, and that's like the best probiotic for people who cannot handle diarrhea. I do eat yogurt. Yogurt doesn't wreck my skin that much. It doesn't seem to affect. I do eat 1 or 2 tablespoons of yogurt with lunch or rice. So include a lot of probiotic foods so that your gut microbiome can flourish. Basically, we are putting a lot of antibiotics in our diet without us knowing. For example, the meat we eat, the chicken, is almost always not antibiotic free. Support your gut with great prebiotics and probiotics. When it comes to skincare, if you are using actives, start with smaller concentrations. Indian skin has a tendency to hyperpigment so easily, so you have to be really careful when you use actives. A lot of brands are releasing a very concentrated forms of chemical exfoliants, actives, and serums and stuff like that. Like, you be a little careful before using it. A lot of skin problems stem from hormone imbalances, poor diet, and gut problems. That's basically all I have to say about skincare. Don't make it complicated. Avoid added fragrance especially if you have a sensitive type skin. Stick to the basics. Design a healthy, balanced lifestyle in terms of diet, in terms of stress. It's almost always genetics is what loads the gun, but lifestyle is what pulls the trigger. I'll just show you what the most simple skincare routine is. You need a cleanser. If you have oily skin, get a cleanser for oily skin. There are ones with salicylic acid as an active ingredient, so you don't have to use it every day. Use like a very basic cleanser every day. So this is the one that I have. It's a very basic cleanser from Symbol, refreshing facial wash, and this is my third purchase from Symbol. I had used 2 tubes of their hydrating face wash also, and I am going to get another hydrating face wash. I don't know whether to get it from Symbol because it's January and my skin is getting a little dry overall. So this is the one I have. If you are a beginner and you want to design like a basic minimal skincare routine, buy a face wash with no harsh chemicals, no perfume. You don't necessarily need actives. You just want to remove all the oil that and bacteria that's in your skin. So this is a really good one. Another thing is a really good lip balm. A basic lip balm would do. I have around 3 lip balms, but this one is my favorite one. This is a basic one from Sebamed. It has SPF. It's over, and I'm going to get another. The consistency is amazing. I'm going to definitely get another tube because this is a really nice one, the Sebamed with SPF one. I love this one especially when I'm outside and my lips get dry, because I don't like putting my hand into tub lip balms when I'm outside. After shower then it's okay, and in the morning also it's okay, but otherwise when I'm outside I need something that has a twisty bottom. So that's why I love it. It's very basic and it's amazing for a beginner. The next step is a moisturizer. This is my current one. It's the ceramide moisturizer from Dot & Key. It's very affordable and it works great for me. I also have one from Minimalist. It's almost over. It's also a good moisturizer. Minimalist is a great brand. They don't have so many extra added things in them, and it's such a basic brand for beginners. Get a moisturizer and a sunscreen. So this is my current favorite. This is what I'm using right now. So far I like it. Dr. Seth's ceramide and with vitamin C sunscreen. This is also a very good sunscreen. I also have one from Minimalist. If you don't want to search for a lot of sunscreens, I would say get the Minimalist one, but this is also a really good one. Works for me. Snail Mucins from Cosrx. It's a very hyped product. Most people like it. I like it. I think mostly because it suits your skin. I don't necessarily use it every day. I got it months ago and it has more than half of it still remaining. I mostly use it when I come back from a function or something. I cleanse my face and I put just this, sometimes even without a moisturizer, for my skincare routine, and it works for me. It really suits your skin barrier. It's a really, for me, it's kind of an expensive product. You don't have to get it if you're a beginner. It's not necessary. I also have like a retinol, which I don't use maybe once in a week, but it's a really good kind of retinol. It has squalene in it, which is a very hydrating ingredient. It's 0.3% from Minimalist. When you start actives, especially like irritating actives like vitamin C, salicylic acid, or any kind of exfoliant for that matter, and retinol, you have to start with a very small concentration, especially if you are Indian. When it comes to body, it's a whole different set of body wash, things like that. But when I'm going out, I prefer this. This has fragrance in it. If you have sensitive skin, don't get this. This is pretty heavy with fragrance. This is the Plum SPF 44 body lotion. When I'm going out, I just put it on my hands and exposed parts. Otherwise, right now I'm using This is something I got out of necessity, but I love body butters rather than body lotions because my it works for my skin. That's all you need. That's all you need. A face wash that suits your skin type and a good sunscreen. You have to wear sunscreen even if you are Indian. The occurrence of skin cancer in among Indians is very rare. You can get melasma, especially if you are using products with actives in your skincare routine. Your skin is really vulnerable. You have to use a really good sunscreen. There was a period where I was not using a sunscreen. I was just using a moisturizer, and I would go out in the sun in the morning when I was in Idiki because the morning sun is really nice there. It's not that hot, so I would stay in the sun, and I developed melasma. I have a spot here, sunspot here and here. It developed so quickly. I noticed it after a while, but it's been years and it's still there. It's really hard. It might take years for a melasma to develop before it appears on your skin. Mine is very light. I think it's because I'm doing good skincare now and I'm protecting my skin. But it happens. Melasma happens. So it's okay. It happens for everyone. It's normal for a human being to have melasma. But if your aspiration is to get the most healthiest skin you can have, it's better you wear a sunscreen. That's all. It's up to you. Also, I have a mask. I like clay masks, even if I have dry skin. It's more like a self-care practice for me. Once in a week, I like to oil my hair and I like to put on a mask, mostly on the weekend. And this is one of my favorite masks from Azafran. I already finished clay mask, the green tea clay mask from Plum. That's also a nice one. But this is really nice. Deep pore cleansing clay mask. This is actually really hard to find. This is not such a common brand. So when I started to get my stipend during my masters, I had enough money to buy all the things I want, but not a lot of money. So I wanted to find out if there are free skincare that I can get, and I found out Smitten. So Smitten is an Indian brand where you can pay for shipping and you can try these small, trial packs. And Azafran is a brand that I found from Smitten, and it's a really good brand. That's how I found a lot of really not that popular good brands. Another brand I liked for a while was Sultry. I really liked their face cream. As I mentioned in some other video, similarly to their makeup, they also increase the price of their skincare products as well. Most of their skincare products have a lot of oil in them, so it's not that suitable for Indian skin. At that time, there were not a lot of brands like this. Now there are a lot of good brands in India itself. So just get something basic, a good lip balm, face wash, moisturizer, and a good sunscreen. That's all you need. If you're above 25, you can start using actives. Start with very low concentrations. That's all I have to say about skincare. I don't think I'll make another skincare video because there's not much to talk about skincare. This is all there is. Eat healthy, good food, control your stress, keep a simple skincare routine. That's all. I'm recording this video in my kitchen because there's a lot of natural light here. I'm just figuring out locations to film videos. I think I'll do more of chatty, just conversation type videos from now on. That's with my schedule. They are really easy to produce. I think they give a lot of value, more like podcasty types. That's what I consume a lot. I also want to learn how to do good cinematography. It's something that I'm really interested in, but this is not the right moment for me to invest in gear and stuff like that. There are some, so we'll see. I'm really enjoying shooting these videos, very conversation-y type videos. Write your thoughts down below in the comments. If you like the video, watch a video where I did a complete makeup declutter and a review of all the products that I have. Go watch that. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.